What's up, dudes? It's Chris of Guided by Lee. If you're always wondering why I do that, it's because Chris is my actual name, Lee is my middle name, and I just didn't want to do the whole Guided by Chris because there's probably a million Guided by Chris's out there, so didn't want to do that. The reason I'm doing this video today is because, number one, I wanted to remind you guys that every time you go out after your bluefish or big striper fishing on light tackle, you should always check your lines before you go back out. I was just checking my line right now. I noticed some abrasions on the braid that can be costly. It'll cost you the fish, or it'll cost you your lure, or both, if you're out there. So thought I would do a video about that. Also wanted to tell you guys, every time I go fishing, the type of knots I use a Palomar, double loop Palomar knot. Somebody asked me what kind of knot I use. I always use a Palomar. I used to use what kind of knot was that? Let me check my knot list here. I used to use not a World's Fair knot. I used to use an improved clinch knot before, and that knot would always break off, and I lose my lure, and I lose everything, and I would get so pissed off. I stopped using that knot. Lately though, past 2 days, look at that fray. Can you see that? That's on the mono. That's on like a 60 pound. This is like a 60 pound mono. There's some fray. I'm still gonna use it. This is for my Daiwa SP minnow line. I use a tactical angler's clip and a tsunami barrel swivel. There's still some fray here. The only time I've been breaking off on my Palomar knot is when I collide with something. Like last night, I accidentally went to cast and my buddy was behind me, and my jig hit his line, and jig flew off and flew in the water. So that's the only time I get break-offs with a Palomar, just careless stuff that I do. But in terms of fish, I haven't had a fish break off that line yet. I may have just jinxed myself right now because I'm about to go out and lock onto some fish right now, but let's see. The other reason why I wanted to write to you guys was because this rod, Shimano Convergence Rod, before I bought this rod, there's a better look at it. Shimano Convergence. This is a worm and jig rod. This rod is 7 feet 2 inches. Line weight is 12 to 20 pounds. Lure weight is 1/4 to an ounce. It's medium heavy with extra fast action. IM7 graphite construction. I read so many bad reviews on Amazon about this rod. I have 2 of these. I got this rod for very, very cheap from my buddy's tackle shop called Corona Bait and Tackle. It's on Northern Boulevard. I'm always there buying stuff from him. I actually bought like 3 X-Pride rods from him not too long ago. And I bought this rod after a buddy of mine snapped my Shimano Crucial rod that looks almost identical to this rod. I think the guides are different. It's got better guides, the old Crucial, but it looks just like this rod. I love this rod. It's all black. I love that. Some of the guides are a little rough around the edges, like the porcelain, I guess that's what that is. Inside the guide is a little crappy, but this rod is a good rod for the price. If you're looking to just really get out there and beat up a rod and catch fish, I've caught huge bluefish on this, huge stripers on this rod, and nothing has happened yet. Hold on. Had to set the rod down. So nothing has happened to that rod yet. I think I paid like $70 for that rod. I think it's an $80 rod if you look online. Great rod. Get out there, get one. Waiting for my buddy to arrive so we can go fishing. Got my GoPro. Throw that in a box. What else? So I'm gonna bring this thing along because not yesterday, but a few days ago, I lost my Ray-Bans in the water and I was not pleased. So I don't even think I need my Ray-Bans today because it's kind of cloudy, but you never know on the water. Things can change. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Wanted to really talk about that rod. I hate when people crap on products that they don't give an opportunity to try them out, and you know, people are on there writing really bad reviews about that Shimano rod. I have not had a bad experience with the Shimano rod, even the crappy ones. Sorry, Shimano. But even like the some of the ones that just sell for like, you know, $60-$70 at Dick's or something like that. The reel seats are always that's where the product usually suffers, on the reel seat. Expensive rods will have really nice reel seats. These cheaper rods, you know, have cheaper reel seats, of course. But all right, got my little float thing on from my glasses. All right, cool. So people were really writing really bad stuff on there, and I was getting teed off, so I thought I would do a little review. What else was I gonna say? Oh, if you want to really keep your rods from breaking, don't hoist the fish into your boat with the rod. Get the fish close to the boat, grab the fish with the net or your hand. If it's a bluefish, you know, grab them by the tail, do whatever you gotta do. But don't lift up the rod with the fish hooked on, dead weight, as that is how you will snap your rod. And if you don't know that by now, stop watching this video. Okay, see ya.